Larry Caplan is back with some sage advice about several things, tree planting and after planting activities. Good to see you.
Thank you for having me here again, Angie.
Well, this is an interesting time of year. I think so many of us who are really not even amateur gardeners, but have plants and trees, whatever, think, I'm done.
Oh,
I mean, there's nothing left to do.
Not at all. Fall is the best time to be planting trees and shrubs. The soil is still warm, so we're going to get some root regeneration over the next month or so. But the air temperatures are dropping and the leaves are falling off, so there's no stress on the plant. So this is a perfect time to be planting trees and shrubs and even perennials and bulbs and stuff like that.
So we're going to come back to that because I heard on some show I was watching about watering before everything goes into wintertime phase. And Larry, I wouldn't have thought about that. Like, I still have some bulbs that, some plants that will come back that are perennial.
Right.
And I didn't think about it.
And the watering going into the winter in a moist situation is absolutely critical, especially for evergreens. Even though the air is freezing and the ground is frozen, a lot of those evergreens are still losing water from their leaves and their needles. And I'm thinking like rhododendrons, and I'm thinking some of the other big-leafed evergreens.
Right. What about hollies and things like that?
They too are also losing some water. So if we get a very cold, very bright, very windy winter day, those leaves are losing water and they have no ability to pull it up. And so we get what we call desiccation injury, where the leaves turn brown and drop, usually as soon as the weather warms up. Now, when it comes to watering, especially for new plants, I've got a picture I wanted to show you. Especially for this is something we're going to be talking about later. If we can fast forward a couple to the watering picture.
Jeff, can you find just pop something up, we'll figure out what it is as we go. But so you're saying getting that water now is critical.
Right, and especially if you're doing any planting in the next month.
So if you're doing bulbs, if you're doing trees.
Yeah,
okay.
And especially trees. Now, I'm going to be out tomorrow out at Deaconess Ball Field out on Heckle Road near North Green River.
Yes.
We've got a group of volunteers, and we're going to be planting a bunch of trees because this is city property. And so we're going to be planting a bunch of trees, and the ground is pretty moist already right now. But I am still concerned that over the next 3-4 weeks, if we don't get rain, we do need to water. And when you plant a new tree or shrub, you want to water it in that day to settle the soil, start rehydrating the roots. There we go. That's a beautiful picture.
Oh, I see now. It's saturating. So you planted it. You didn't fill the hole with water.
No. We've already planted it. We've backfilled the soil. It's all level. The tree was planted at the right depth, which is something I've talked about in previous segments.
Yes.
And we want that watered in. Now, usually for a newly planted tree or shrub, I want about a half a gallon of water per square foot of planting area. So with a tree like on that picture there, we had a planting pit that was about 3 feet wide. So 3 feet by 3 feet is 9 square feet, half a gallon per square foot. That's a 5-gallon bucket.
And it's right on that planting root right there.
Because that's where the roots are right there. They're not out here yet. We will need to water out here starting next year, but right now we need to water where the root ball is. And so that picture there, they actually showed a hose running water in there, which is sometimes easier than carrying a 5-gallon bucket around. What I would do would be to fill a 5-gallon bucket and time how long does it take to fill that 5-gallon bucket. Let's say with your hose and your water pressure,
good plan,
it takes 2 minutes. So you need 5 gallons of water for that tree. You lay that hose there for 2 minutes. And the reason is, I have seen more cases where people drown their trees than let them go thirsty. So we don't want to overdo it.
Yes.
But we also want to make sure that we are putting in adequate amounts. So that's one way of doing it.
So you're saying that then the tree, this new tree with its new roots, is going to pull water up in there as a reserve for the challenges.
It's going to pull up some water now, and that's going to encourage new root growth.
Okay.
And we absolutely need new roots as quickly as possible. Especially, again, the soil is warm, so there's going to be some new root growth starting. And those roots will overwinter, and come spring, that tree will just take off.
And that's what we want. Well, don't you take off because I need you. We'll be back with Larry right after this. Stay with us.